Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another Optc video, and in today's video, I want you to grab onto something real quick. Caution to headphone users, and I do want to prepare yourself, because let's fucking go! We are getting a Super Sugo Fest Shanks for the Film Red Climax celebration, as well as a Legend Beckman and Lucky Roux. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at what the units do. And look, I know I'm late to the party, but I have seen what these characters do, and you bet your ass we are going so hard for this Shanks that's not even funny. So make sure to head over to Twitch, hit us with a follow so you don't miss the streams, the summons. Make sure to belt the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you don't miss the Shanks content, the Shanks summons, the Beckman summons, the Lucky Roux content. It's just going to be going off for the part 2 of the Film Red Sugo Fest. So, with that said, enjoy the video, and let's take a look at the Sugo Fest as well as the 2 new legends and the badge. Alright, so let's take a look at the Super Sugo Fest that will be coming as part 2, the climax of the Film Red Sugo Fest. So obviously it is a Super Sugo Fest. We are getting a Super Sugo Fest Shanks, as you guys can see right here. We're getting a Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. There's a Gordon, Rare Recruit, the Sunny-kun, and then a Bluno and Kobe. So obviously these 3 units are from the movie. So like, no spoilers in chat, please. But like, I haven't seen the movie. I don't plan on seeing it until it comes to cinemas here in Australia. So we'll go from there. So first of all, we actually get a free multi, and obviously with these being Super Sugo Fests, the rates are pretty good. Like, we had a 15 times legend rate, or 15%, sorry, legend rate for Uta, so I do imagine that this is probably going to be on the same level, which is always nice to see. We are getting a free-to-play Uta as well, so we did expect that we were getting a free-to-play Uta character, and this is because she actually works as a Super Tandem character for Shanks. If they do, like, a Super Tandem character, they usually have to bring out a character that, like, isn't summonable, that can be used alongside Shanks, and this Uta sort of just works perfectly, so it kind of justifies them doing this, I guess, like, double Super Sugo Fest. I know people are going to be mad, but look, we get a free Uta. She's a quick unit, and she's pretty cool. So as for the banners, the Climax Part 1 actually comes on the 29th. Now, I am actually working that day, so I'll be summoning the day after. As I mentioned, head over to Twitch, hit me with a follow so you don't miss the stream, so you guys can check out the summons there. But if you hit the bell notification too, you won't miss the videos as well. But come join the live fun. It's a lot of fun over there. So part 1 has both Shanks and Ben Beckman Lucky Roux. A lot of people probably shouldn't summon on this part. Like, honestly, you should probably just summon on Shanks' part, because, like, he's the new shiny legend. You want to pick him up, he's a Super Sugo, and then just call it a day. Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux, whilst they are very good, and we'll talk about what they do at the second half of this video, but they're just regular Sugo, so you can pick them up anywhere. So same pretty much structure as Uta, like the first 5 multis, you're pretty much guaranteed a Sugo on the first 5 steps. Besides the first step, it's a race boosted character. And then you have a rate boosted Sugo rare character, then the 8th is a Sugo, a rate boosted Sugo rare character. So every 2 multis after that, you start getting legends. And the legends are better chance of being like better legends, because it's a rate boosted legend. But then it starts to slow down. You have a Sugo again, and then a rate boosted Sugo on the 15th. And then you have a 18th, and then the 20th is a Super Sugo Fest character. Now, part 1 has every legend in the game. So this particular part right here with a Super Sugo Fest, I imagine would have Uta on it. So there's also that. If you guys want to try your luck at like another Uta dupe, like there's their 20th multi for you, because she's going to be getting 6+ as well. So like getting Uta dupes, like it's not an issue. It's actually very, very good. Next, you've got a 50% red rate on the 25th. This is kind of dookie in my opinion. I don't like that they do this, but look, it's something, I guess. It's different. And then on the 30th, it's a limited pool Super Sugo Fest only character. Now, this step sucks. To me, it should just be Shanks or Ben Beckman. Simple as that. However, a Super Sugo Fest character, like you could argue, is probably better than pulling Ben Beckman and Shanks. Oh, sorry, Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. Because Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux are on every single banner, where Super Sugos, they are not. However, for myself, I just want Shanks. Like, I would just love this to be a 50% chance at Shanks, so it is what it is. Part 2 starts on the 29th of August, and Part 3 is on the 31st. Part 2, as you can see, has Shanks, and Part 3 has Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux have Kaido, so if you're missing Super Tandems for Kaido and AC Yamato Final Tap tablets, this is what I'm missing, so hopefully I don't have to summon here at all, because, like, I'm going to go absolutely AWOL here. However, my Roger and Whitebeard are rainbowed, so is my Luffy, so I'm just going for the man in the middle. However, I'll take the dupes of Roger and Whitebeard, because I do want to get them to level 150. However, Luffy, I'm pretty much done. I'm pretty much done with that Luffy. As for the steps aren't nearly as good. The 5th step is a limited pool Sugo rare characters, and obviously these 2 banners here don't have every single legend on it. However, on the 30th step, you get the new Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux, or you get the new Shanks. depending on which one you summon on. So, they're the banners. Do I think you should summon? Yes, I do. However, people are probably going to ask what's better, Shanks or Uta. And look, I'll let you guys make that decision, because I'm a huge Shanks simp, so I'm going to say Shanks every day of the week. However, I do understand why people would say Uta is actually better. But with that said, let's take a look at the units and let's talk about these new phenomenal legends. Alright, so the Discord doesn't actually have the info on the rare recruits, but that's fine. We'll talk about them at a later date. We're here for the legends. We're here for the big dogs. And the first legend we're going to talk about is a Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. Now, they've gone down the route of utilizing the artwork of Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux to be of the older red-haired pirates. As you can see, Ben Beckman with his grey hair, the different outfit of Lucky Roux, it's not the same as that first episode as well. He's got his cape. Rockstar's in the back there. Yasop doesn't seem to be seen in the back here as well. So I'm not sure if these characters here will actually count as a Rockstar. I really hope they don't. Hopefully it's just a Lucky Roux and a Ben Beckman. And then you can use stuff like Rockstar. You can use stuff like Yasop on Shanks' team. Because they're going to be great options to trigger the Super Tandem effect. So let's take a look at what this particular character does. This is the breakdown basically. As you can see, they are a Super Tandem unit. They have Barrier Pen and Slot Bind. They are a Shooter Cerebral. And they are Super Class for Shooters. They are the first Shooter Super Class. And I'm very, very happy it's a Redhead Pirates. And it's very fitting that it's Lucky Roux and Ben Beckman, right? They're just built around guns. It's like a cannonball and the world's greatest sharpshooter. So, it's just, I'm so hyped for this character. So, let's take a look at what he does. At 13 turn cooldown with Limit Break expansion. So, 14 turns on the regular turns. And then this is what his Rumble does. 31 second special cooldown is pretty interesting as well. So let's take a quick look at the character and let's see what the character actually does. And that is right here. So as a captain, they reduce cooldown by 2 turns at the start of the quest. Boost quick shooters HP by 1.2 times and their attack by 5.25 when they have a matching orb 5 times otherwise. When a character has the Barrier Penetration potential ability and meets the requirements to activate said potential ability, whenever that character hits a perfect, it's going to reduce damage threshold, damage reduction, and defense up by 1 turn. This line right here is awesome. So this is basically a new mechanic that is coming to the game as a captain. When any character hits with Barrier Penetration and it activates so you go through the barrier, obviously if it's at... it doesn't even have to go through the barrier. Well, I guess it has to activate, right? So I wonder if this line here meets the requirements to activate the ability is just like the HP thresholds, or you get it all the time, or you actually have to go through a barrier. If you have to go through a barrier, it's not as good. However, from what I can see here, it should just work, provided you have the Barrier Pen activated. So, if you have a look down here, like I said, at the character, this little one right here, this is Barrier Pen. And for Legends, if you max your Barrier Pen to get to level 5, you're just guaranteed to go through barriers. So this should trigger all the time. Now, these guys are built around shooters, obviously, and a lot of shooter characters have the Barrier Pen Limit Break ability. It has become the best Limit Break ability in the game since the update, where it not only goes through the barrier, but still breaks the barrier. And now it can remove defensive effects. That's just absolutely cooked. So freaking cooked. Guess who else has Barrier Pen? We're going to talk about that in a second as well. Their special, though, boosts quick shooter characters' orbs by 2.25. So, kind of low orb boost, but it's for 3 turns. So, that's always fun. Sets the chain boundary to 2.75 to 35 times for 3 turns. This is really good. Quick don't have a lot of chain boundary units. They've got, Sanji and Zoro. They've got Smoothie, I think. Other than that, they don't have too many options. So, this is very, very good. If the crew already has an orb boost when the special is launched, buffs the orb boost by 0.3. If the crew already has a chain lock, when the special is launched, buffs the chain lock buff by 0.25. So if you run 2 of these guys, obviously double captains, and then you get this to trigger twice, you can get 12 turns of defensive effects removal with Barrier Pen, and you can also get a 2.55 orb boost for 3 turns, as well as a chain boundary starting at 3 times. Going up, by the way. So this is really good. I like that they've given the utility to run 2 characters, 2 leaders, and it actually still be effective. And especially if this stacks, it's just so good. It's so good that they're doing this. The super type condition, though, is kind of what brings this unit down. 5 or more shooter characters on the crew, excluding support. So basically what they've done is they've said, okay, you have to run a full shooter team to get the super type, or the super class. However, we'll give you 1 spot, so that way you can run Shanks as well. That's basically what they've done. The Superclass Special reduces all enemies' defense up, threshold, and damage reduction by 2 turns, doubles shooter's character's attack for 2 turns, and changes shooter characters into super shooter. So this right here, reducing defense up, threshold, and damage reduction by 2 turns is actually insane. Like, just being able to remove 2 turns of, like, utility and all of the defensive utility by 2 turns is so good, because there's so many stages where it's like 6 turns of damage reduction or 6 turns of threshold, and you know how many characters remove 4 turns of that shit, or even 5, like the good characters remove 5. This just makes up the other 2, and it's for all of them. Not to mention that is, like, you can use this and then just hit some perfects if you're running these guys as captain and just get through the rest, and it just all works out insanely well. They are doubling shooter character's attack, which is some low multipliers, but 2 turns is nice. But these guys, obviously, they're all built around going through damage reduction, defense up, threshold, and even barriers, obviously, because it's built around barrier pen as well. Their Sailor boosts crew's base attack by 100 if the captain is a shooter, and then reduces own cooldown by 1 turn every time a shooter character uses their special. Now, I don't really know why this is shooter, because obviously they come alongside Shanks, and Shanks is not a shooter. So, like, I feel like this should just be, like, a boost crew's base stats by 100 if captain is a quick unit. But the shooter thing, like, obviously for shooter teams, this character is always going to be your leader, basically. And later down the line, they're definitely going to find place on it as a sub, as this is actually a really, really cool ability, too. With this special, too, you could bring another character that actually does an orb boost, like a better orb boost than 2.25, and then you could just increase it with this, 0.3, and then just use them as their chain boundary, you know? Like, so you can do shenanigans like that as well, and you could also do that for quick teams, which, again, we'll talk about in a second when we get to Shanks. Limit break his slot bind by 7 turns. I just wish that was just remove it completely. And own normal attacks are unaffected by all barriers, so that's kind of cool. The Super Tandem, from level 1 to 3, you need 2 characters on the crew, being Shanks, Yasop, Rockstar, and Usopp. Okay, so this here confirms that Yasop and Rockstar are not in the name, and you can actually bring them on the team. So that's really, really good. Like, there is a really good Yasop shooter. Rockstar isn't a shooter. Usopp definitely is, and then obviously Shanks, the new Shanks, is quick, so you could easily put them on the team. Level 4, when there are 1 shooter character and 1 of the following, Shanks, Usopp, Rockstar, and Yasop. Why is Usopp there? That's so weird. It's so weird that Usopp's there, but look, it is what it is. So they just add a shooter type there after level 4, and then level 5, you literally just need Shanks, Yasop, Rockstar, Usopp. I love this. Like, the one character on the team, and then you just tap, you go bang, bang. Like, GG from there. That is so good. Their Super Tandem effect applies a T&D boost of 1.2 at level 1, going up to 2 times for quick characters and shooter characters for 1 turn. So that's an attack boost. And then reduces enemies' threshold and damage reduction by 1 turn. So that's kind of cool, but like the 1 turn thing is kind of whatever. But again, threshold, damage reduction, defense up. So with this unit alone, if you run double this unit, you could get, like, in 1 turn, you could get the 1 turn with the Super Tandem. You could get 4 turns with their Super type. And then if you hit perfects with everyone, you can get like 12. Like, they have so much damage reduction, defense up, and threshold removal. So I do feel like we are going to see some content with that. But that's Beckman and Lucky Roux. A very, very good shooter addition. Don't get me wrong. And when I first read this character, I was actually more hyped for these guys than I was Shanks. Which hurt me, like, hurt my soul, chat. It hurt my soul. Because, like, I want these Shanks to be so good, and I read this, and I was like, this is just better. Like, this is just better. However, when I did read Shanks, I did miss out on one crucial bit of information, and we will talk about that right now. So here he is, the beautiful son of a bitch. Look at him. Oh, I love the artwork. I just... A lot of people are getting very upset with this artwork and the character itself. It's because this is not like a crazy, what we've seen in the manga sort of Shanks. He's got his 2 arms. This is before the sea monster. This is even like before Luffy. Apparently it's from like a flashback in the movie. But like I said, I haven't seen the movie. Again, no spoilers. But like, this Shanks is before the craziness that we know Shanks to be. Again, no manga spoilers either. But from what we know in the manga, this is not that Shanks. This is Shanks before he gives the Straw Hat to Luffy. For me, I love this Shanks. I'm really happy that this Shanks is in the game. Do I wish that this is the time that they do that? Probably not. However, I'm okay with it. I'm very okay with it, because this Shanks right here, the one that has the Straw Hat, the one that is an absolute baller, this is where it all began for Luffy. This guy right here. This guy. So I'm actually super keen that he's in the game. They were always going to do it, and he's a super Sugo Fest character, which I love. As a whale, obviously, it makes it easier, but like I love that he's a super Sugo Fest character. This is what we are working with here. Shanks is a cerebral free spirit character. He's a quick, super tight character. He's a super tandem character with pinch healing and barrier pen. In my opinion, besides super tandem and last tap, obviously, two of the best limit breaks in the game right there, being the barrier pen and pinch healing. Depending on what his pinch healing is, but still, very, very good. We'll talk about these guys in Rumble like after as well, because they have some pretty interesting stuff going on in Rumble as well. So, let's take a look at what our man Shanks actually does. So, actually, before we get into Shanks, I forgot to touch on this stuff on Lucky Room and Beckman. Their support, once per quest when the supported character uses a damage dealing special, reduces enemies' threshold, defense up, and damage reduction by 1 turn. So, like, that's stupid. Like, that's so good. As a support on Shanks, Yasop, and Rockstar, that's so good. The Pirate Festival special targets one enemy for 0.7 times attack up to 6 times. Okay. So, like, it just does, like, a bunch of damage to one enemy. And then targets Shoutout. Why not Cerebral? Man. Speed up level 6, crit up level 6. Shooter allies receive defense up level 5 and attack up level 8 as their Pirate Festival ability. And, yeah, this isn't good. Like, this is not a good ability, like, that you want because it's for shooters. If it was to Cerebrals, we're talking. But still, this is so good. Like, that is actually so good. But, back to the main course. Back to my main man, Shanks. Back to the boss that is the Redhead Pirates leader. So, Shanks, talk to me. Talk to me, homie. What are we working with? He's captain. Boosts quick characters' attack by 5 times. 4 times for all other characters. So he's a rainbow captain for 4 times. And then he's 5 times to quick characters. He boosts the HP by 1.5. That is a lot of HP, by the way. Like, I don't underestimate how much HP that is. Boosts quick characters' color affinity by 1.1 times. So this is technically a 5.5 times captain to quick. Reduces damage taken by 10%. So a bit of damage reduction and a lot of HP. So pretty tanky. Makes recovery, tandem, and quick orbs beneficial to the crew. And slightly boosts the chance of landing on quick and tandem slots. Now, I don't know why he makes quick orbs beneficial. This is my one narc with his captain ability. Why is it quick? Why would you not make that, like, dex, and then you have no unfavorable orbs? Like, why? Why make it quick? You want to run quick characters on the goddamn team. He boosts quick characters by 5 times. Why is this quick? If this was dex, like, no unfavorable orbs would have just been so good. However, he does slightly boost the chance of landing on quick and tandem slots. So, like, you are getting matching orbs that way. And obviously, he has a super tandem effect. So, this is really, really cool. So, all in all, when I first read this, I immediately got flashbacks to Halloween Shanks. And I was like, oh, no. Please don't do this to us, Bandai. Obviously, when you read this, you want to build around quick teams, right? That's what you want to build, right? But you can use other characters, which is great because obviously he's a super type character that needs like Luffy, Ben Beckman, Lucky Roux, Yasop, Rockstar, and Uta. Now they're giving us a quick Uta, which is great. You have Final Tap Luffy, which is a great option there. Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux obviously getting a new legend, but Yasop and Rockstar, they don't have any quick units. However, Kizuna Rare Recruit Yasop and the Rare Recruit Rockstar are both incredibly good Rare Recruit characters. And if you need that utility they provide, you can put them on Shanks' team. They're not getting the 5 times captain. They're not getting this craziness of the 1.1 times color affinity. But you can still use them and they can still do damage. However, I would have loved to see this be 4.5 times. I think we're in an era now where 4.5 is not that big of a power creep. 5 times here is fine because of this. However, I would have loved to see this be 5.25. Like, just it's a super Sugo Fest Shanks for crying out loud. Make it 5.25. But look, that's me being greedy. But my big thing here is, like, if I could change one thing, it's just change that to Dex Orbs. Change that to Dex Orbs. The special, though, this is where things start to get a little bit nutty. Cuts all enemies' HP by 10%, ignoring defensive effects. Great for stuff like support, so I immediately think of something like Smoker. You can Smoker on this guy for an attack boost as well. Obviously, with Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux, you can obviously use them. They are support. You obviously have Markano support on this guy as well, but anything that does, like, damage is always good for supports. It changes left column, including block, to quick, and right to tandem. So, or goes through block rolls, which is great. So, great orb manipulation, which he makes matching as a captain. He then boosts the chain by 1.4 times for 1 turn, and if 5 or more quick characters are on the crew, boost the color affinity of quick characters by 2.75 for 1 turn. It's a 2.25 times color affinity boost for the entire crew otherwise. Now, this line here, the 2.25 for the entire crew for otherwise, tells me that he is still a rainbow color affinity booster at 2.25. Just want to let that sink in for a second. If the crew has a chain multiplier addition and a color affinity buff when the special is launched, he reduces all enemies' damage reduction and threshold by 7 turns and buffs the chain addition by 0.5. This is huge. Now, if you guys know how effective Kinemon and Denjiro are with the 6 turns of what this is going to see so much handy play. Like, so much good utility play. However, obviously you need to run 2 Shankses to really get this popping off because you need a color affinity boost and you need a chain boost. But when I think about it, I think about using something like Brook, for example. You use Brook and his chain multiplier buff at like 1.6, and then like the VV support can give that little tiny color affinity boost to free spirit characters. And then you can use Shanks to like get this damage reduction and threshold if you need something like that, right? Which is great. So there's that if you're running 1 Shanks. Does damage, great for supports as I mentioned. Full board of matching orbs, which is awesome. Gives a tandem slot, so obviously you can proc your super tandem ability. And then boost the chain by 1.4 for 1 turn. If you use both of this in the same turn, it's 1.9. Now, I think Brooks is still a little bit higher. I think Brooks goes up to a 1... Correct me if I'm wrong here. It goes up to a 2.1. Because it's 1.6, and then it goes up by 0.5 after that. Something like that. But, like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. But still, this is insane because... you can definitely abuse this. Like, you can find ways to abuse that, and it's going to work great. The thing is, though, like, what a lot of people are going to get upset about is that this guy needs 5 quick characters to get the 2.75 times color affinity boost. And obviously, he's a quick character that boosts quick characters. It's built around quick, right? And quick aren't overly strong. And what happens if you come up against a Dex boss? So I was immediately looking at this and I was like, yeah, this is going to be so good against Super Boss Kazuna, where I'm versing a Strength boss. But where the hell am I using this Shanks otherwise? Like, honestly, if I'm being real, where am I going to use this guy otherwise? Like, great character on paper. However, like, where am I going to use this guy? And then I read he's Super Type Special. So he's Super Type. Obviously, he makes characters into Super Quick. He's Super Type Special. Buffs color affinity by 0.25, so he increases this 2.75 to 3 times, which this, by the way, is the highest color affinity in the game. This, by the way, is a rainbow color affinity booster for the entire crew, so, like, you can get a 2.5 times rainbow color affinity boost. That's kind of cracked. So you can put him on, like, any other team, right? Like, that's going to work great. However, most of the time, you're probably going to want to put him on, like, on a quick team. And then he changes enemies into strength for 1 turn. Yes, you read that right. He changes the enemy's type to strength for 1 turn. That makes all of this busted. Like, so busted. This is going to be good in, like, treasure map bosses that are just very, very annoying to deal with. And, like, you just build, like, just build a quick team and then, like, just let Shanks absolutely decimate it. This is going to be amazing in 10-star Kazuna. This is going to be amazing in Super Boss when you take on a Strength Super Boss, because what they've done to Shanks here is they've done this cannot change if they apply Super Type to themselves. So if the enemy is a Super Type themselves, Shanks cannot change that. So that's their kind of way of, like, balancing the character, I guess. However, like, if he could do that, like, he would just be, like, one of the most broken units in the entire game. However, changing the enemy into strength for 1 turn, this guy's going to decimate all arenas, all coliseums, all clashes. Doesn't matter what content you're coming up against. Because if you run 2 Shankses, you can do this twice. Like, you can do this twice. Just let that sink in for a second. Twice. Stage 4 and Stage 5 are the hardest stages on, like, arenas and stuff like that. You just bring some, like, cooldown reducers, and you're pretty much Gucci. Like, Shanks is going to do so much damage with his special alone that, like, it's just wild. Actually wild. Actually insane. I love this Shanks. I love this Shanks. I really love the uniqueness of him. I love that I can literally take him anywhere I want to go. However, obviously with Super Boss, he's still, like, nerfed. But like I said, like with Super Boss, like you're not going to take him against Dex. You're going to make Kaido, right? Like it's just simple. However, against Strength, he's going to be your man to go to. He's a 5.5 times quick captain that has a super type, so it's a 6 times captain. Like that's crazy. Like it's actually insane when you are taking on a Super Boss. Plus, he's free spirit, and like it's just wild. It's just wild. It's wild. It's wild. It's actually wild. It's wild. He's Sailor. I don't know why you're ever using this guy as Sailor, but like boost Crew's attack by 100 and then makes strength count as beneficial for quick. So like why didn't they make that strength? Like this strength, you know? Now, he then has a super tandem ability. His limit breaks heals 2 times recovery if you're below 50% HP, so that's his pinch healing. And then normal attacks are unaffected by all barriers. So he has barrier pen as well, which works amazingly for Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux. So like, as I said, like Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux, they just want like 5 shooters and then just bring Shanks. Super tandem conditions, 1 to 3, you need 2 of the following on the crew. Luffy, Beckman, Lucky Roux, Yasop, Rockstar, and Uta. Obviously, you get a free-to-play Uta. There's a lot of Luffys in the game. Ben Beckman and Lucky Roux are getting a legend. And then Yasop, Rockstar, they have some cool units too. Level 4, when there is 1 or more quick character, and then 1 of the following, the same things, but the other one can just be quick. And then level 5, you just need 1 of the following, and it's just those characters, which is awesome. He's super tandem, does a 1.5 at level 1, goes up to 2.5 for quick characters, being an attack boost, and makes all crews type slots count as beneficial for 1 turn. So this is very, very good. Like 2.5 attack that stacks and everything. Potentially a 3 times color affinity booster. A very high chain multiplier buff if you activate both the Shankses on the same turn. It's just actually, this is very, very crazy what you can do with this guy. Like it's actually really cool. If you bring another color affinity booster though, like you could even like I said, you could just well, you don't even really need to. Like I guess if you want the chain edition buff, but like what this guy can output is going to be absolutely insane. I'm so keen to see how this actually works. So I'm very, very excited for this particular unit. I bet you ask, we're going to try and rainbow him. We're going to try and go for the Super 10 on level 5 so we can show him off in some hard content. His support, though, once per quest. When the supporter character uses a special, boost quick color affinity by 1.75. This is now the highest color affinity support in the game, as far as I'm aware. I don't think I can think of anything else that gives color affinity that high. And that's just whenever they use their special. Luffy, Ben Beckman, Lucky Roux, Yasop, Rockstar, Uta. Very, very good. His Pirate Festival is built around Cerebrals as well. I do think he's very, very good, but obviously Cerebrals, I don't know if they're just there. He's got a lot of good attacking prowess, and he will find a spot on the Cerebral team. But the problem is, he's like on a 35-second cooldown, which is actually insane. His ability gives HP up level 6, speed up level 6, attack up level 6, so very, very good ability. And then his special targets team for a 100% chance to remove stat reducing effects. So if you get hit by the 100%, the 50% status reduction, that from like Yamato, Moria, Kaido, all those types of characters, Shanks is going to remove that, like, which is actually wild, and it's a 100% chance for your entire team. Stupidly strong. Targets cerebral allies for speed up level 6, attack up level 6 for 15 seconds, and then targets enemies in a large horizontal range for 2.8 times damage. This is a lot of damage, by the way. Like, this is a fucking lot of damage. Mainly because he gives himself attack up. He has that's level 12 attack up. You can do some pretty crazy things with with the Cerebral team now as well. So there you guys go. That is, I rambled on for a long time, but like, can you blame me? It's a goddamn Super Sugo Shanks, and you bet your ass your boy's been excited for this one. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on the unit in the comment section below. While you're down there, belt the like button. Follow me over on Twitch. Follow me over on TikTok for all those good stuff. Most importantly though, enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lates!